This is the intro to my video. Please subscribe. Woo! Nice. Hey everyone, welcome to Resin Crafting with Chris Collected. On today's episode, we have 3 different cameras for us. I'm getting used to some new camera angles. I'm trying out all kinds of new stuff. Today we will be doing, well, a little bit of a catch-up. So this idea here is the kitchen sink Dominoes set. I have successfully completed 1 year of doing resin crafting videos, and I wanted to celebrate after my giveaway and everything like that. And I was like, all right, how do I do that? And one of my first videos ever was a Dominoes set that was all in glow in the dark. I had all different kinds of colors and all kinds of things in it, but I learned so much from them. I mean, half of the powders weren't even stirred in completely. I mean, it was a mess, but I still loved it and got addicted to doing this resin crafting. And so today, with this Let's Resin, we're going to make a little domino set. Well, half of a domino set. I still haven't learned how to measure things properly in a year, so I didn't have the right amount, and, you know, I didn't really have the right container. I was like, I'll need 2 batches of this, and so this is already going to be quite a long video, and I was like, what do I split it into 2? All right, now we're going to get everything all mixed up. While I'm doing that, I wanted to show off, these are a few things that I'm going to be putting in and on and all around into these little resin pieces. So some stickers, some foil, these are little stars. You've seen a lot of it before, nail art. Just literally, I opened up my cabinet and I recently got organized, so I knew what everything was, and then boom, just kept using them. So hearts, these are Among Us little clay pieces. We got little stars. Gold stars. This is a glitter, a hollow type glitter. This is a glue. You would use it in scrapbooking. This is a glow in the dark pigment. I had to use one, right? I have little stars and little bits. More glitter. Pearl-X powder. That's my Goofy grape. That's my favorite one. So yeah, I have all kinds, as you can see, and I have even more you'll see later in the video. All right, so we're gonna need a lot of different cups today, so I'm gonna start getting some of those ready. Also, make sure to put in the comments below, what do you think of this camera angle? As you notice, the top right one is not dead center anymore. I have instead made it all the way to the right. And I don't really love it, but you know, we'll fix it in the future. All right, so this is an interference powder that I'm gonna put in. All of these will be clear, besides for the ones with Goofy grape in them. And I know you might be thinking a domino set that's clear is probably not going to be the best. And you're not wrong. I really just wanted to do this as a fun little experiment to see how good I've gotten at resin crafting, specifically getting bubbles out and getting, you know, bubble-free molds and these dots. I mean, obviously that's going to be tons of bubbles, right? So the more and more I can do without bubbles are going to be perfect. So I know it may not be the best set of dominoes because you can see what's on the other side of it. But, you know, that doesn't mean that you can't still win. You can't still play with these, but these are fun, you know? All right, so as you can see, all kinds of little things are going in. Different glitters. This one is like bits of plastic, but they're like long and they shiny. Some gold powder. My Goofy grape. That'll be the only solid ones. All the rest aren't. I love this glitter. And these are nail foils. These are my new favorite thing. You'll see why when the results. I'll have the demolding video out. And I will be posting the demolding for this one because it's so big and it's already 2 videos. So there'll be a third one that will be a demolding. This is glue, so that'll be fun. Some little hollow stars. Gold stars. As you can see, the camera angle is not perfect, so I'm going to move it a little bit more too. Thanks for sticking with me as I improve my camera angles, my life, my art, all my stuff. I know some of this is going by pretty fast, and just know that it's a kitchen sink. You're just throwing everything that you've seen the last year. I'm throwing in. These are the Among Us little pieces. And these are little heart pieces. This is a little cool one. This I got a long time ago when I was getting my fashion design degree. I just bought a bunch of random buttons because I was going to make a vest with a bunch of random buttons in it. And so I've had it for literally 10 years. And so I decided to throw some buttons in. Now we're going to split this big pot of epoxy resin up. And one of the nice things is this took so long that it sat there and it degassed and there's not a lot of bubbles in it. I used to really rush with my resin and I'd be like, I need to get it done as fast as possible. This took about an hour to finish. So I really was taking my time. And I'm just kind of guessing randomly. I have no idea how much each one, if I pour it in a little bit more, a little less, is gonna make, 2 or 5 Dominoes. Again, just kind of just randomly going at it. And that last one gets a lot of it. And there's still a little bit in there so I can use it later. Now we gotta get all of these all mixed up. I think I'm gonna try the camera on the right on the opposite side this time because I forgot that I'm left-handed. So putting the camera on the left and my hand on the left, well, you can't see it then. It's like, simple things like that. Like, oh yeah, I need to do it the other way. But, you don't really know until you try. That's why the House of Improvements. Resin crafting, rug tufting, sewing, and unboxings. I have an Instagram, Patreon, TikTok, which I haven't posted on TikTok about a couple months, but maybe eventually I will again. I have all kinds of things to stir up, and so we're gonna go ahead and get them all stirred up. And then start working on pouring them. Let's speed this along. The Goofy Grape gets a little bit of extra clear. You'll see why later. I thought of a little cool idea, and I was like, ooh, I'm gonna do that. I'm not too worried about them mixing, so I was like, it's okay. But all right, let's get to pouring. Now, what I've learned in the year of crafting is this little technique right here. So, what I'm doing is I am not filling them up 100%. And then I am getting a tool and actually scraping the bottom, not hard at all and not with something that is too sharp or anything like that. You don't want to damage your molds. But you do want something to go and release the bubbles. And a bubble does have to travel all the way to the top. So if you fill it all the way to the top, the bubble's got to travel twice the distance, right? You fill it only halfway up, you only got to follow half the distance. So that's why you fill it up halfway, then go in, move it all around, get those bubbles released, then fill it up to the top. And then while it's sitting there, it's going to degas even more. I'm gonna get pretty crystal clear stuff. As always, a lot of the little bits do settle to the bottom. So I went ahead and stirred it up real fast and then poured out the rest. Of course, as always, I can't leave anything in the cups. So I'm gonna scrape them all out. Now onto the Goofy Grape. As you can see, a nice thin stream too. That is helpful. But sometimes, like you see, I'm a little impatient. I'm just like, get it out. Same technique again. We are going to go through each individual one, trying to scrape inside, but again, remember, not too hard. Then fill up the rest. As you can see, I'm trying to go a little slow and get a nice doming on there. It's not necessary. You don't have to. You can always use a sander afterwards and level them off that way. But I really wanted these ones to be like a premium set showing what I've learned. And of course, one of the things that you've seen 100 times by now is all my little bits, they fall to the bottom. And so I was like, ooh, let me go get them. Now, as always, end up messing with stuff, trying to make it look really good, take all these little pieces out of the bottom. And so I went ahead and sped that up first. And as you can see, that next row got a little bit on it. And so I said, you know what? That's a good idea. And so I just splattered it all in. Even some of the little cloud pieces, which are like hollow foil clouds, is what they are if you didn't see them earlier. You know I got to get every little scrap out. So I went ahead and sped that up for us. All right, so there is another set off to the right. I hope you saw it earlier. But as you can see, I am trying and quickly realizing that that piece is too big. These are just random buttons that I got from Mood Fabrics a long time ago. These are all real buttons that, could be used. There's nothing wrong with them or anything. And completely random. So as you can see, put them in there, see how they work. As always, stir it around. These ones are the ones that don't really have a ton to it, so it didn't need to be stirred that much. But I did want to place it right in the middle and then the other one right at the top. However, that one does get replaced later because that little shank part, the little black part of the bottom, was over the limit. As you can see, I'm not really trying that hard. It's just kind of a back and forth, and it seemed to really work well. And now back to fill them up. Still in the last drop of that thing out there. Now back to the next one. This is the blue without the glitter in it. And as you can see, no real rhyme or reason. I'm just going, hey, put these dominoes here, put these dominoes there. Maybe I should have done all the 5s one color, all the 6s one color or something, but I was like, just go for it. Go ahead and get all of that out of there. All right, so this is the clear with the hollow stars. And as you can see, I mixed 2 of them with the blue glitter that I already have, and then 2 that weren't. This blue hollow star works really well. Now, just like in the previous times, stir it around. Now we're just filling them up. As y'all can see again, mostly clear, but, you know, with lots of little extra fixins in. This one has the nail art in it. Ends up turning out to be my favorites. All right, moving right along to the next one. This tray is almost full. These are the Among Us ones. And I wanted to kind of match how I did the purple earlier, and so I just kind of threw them in. As we've learned on this channel a bunch, when you leave stuff and sit there for a while, all the little stuff on the bottom sits on the bottom. So that's why I was just kind of throwing them out. I was just like, I don't know how many is going to be in each one. There was no real rhyme or reason. This one doesn't have any of the aliens. It just has the humans. So they're all friendly here. No imposters. Even though that one does look a little sus. As always, scraping out the excess. And filling them in. And with this tray will be done. All right, let's fill out the rest of them. Try to use up any less that I have. Get all those little ones that were in other little containers that had just a little bit left. And then I had a different Among Us one. This one had all the sakura flowers in it. And these ones I really wanted to be concentrated. So as you can see, I'm pouring out a bunch into one or two of them. The rest have a few, but two of them are going to be really packed. Resin's just so much fun to play with. Yeah, this one I really put a lot in. And as you can see, these other ones in the back are just starting to set up. And they're just starting to look good. I really love this domino set that I made. I got this from Craft Kitsune, the mold, just in case anyone's wanted to know. I've used them in the past, and I figured this was another good use of them. All right, last little bit. I had finished it up, and I realized I was like, I didn't want to do another domino, but I did want to see just how crystal clear my pieces are, especially this resin that's been sitting out for at least 20 minutes now. And so I poured a little clear heart. And the rest of this is just scraping it all out and getting it in. So now just doing a little bit of mix, anything that I can, just kind of throwing it into the back and stirring it in. I went through and did all of them again. Make sure to stay tuned for the next one next week. And you can see the rest of my dominoes. Bye, y'all. and images will be next.